In order to clear your money blocks, you're going to need to understand whose money story are you still living. So when you were growing up, what was it like to talk about money? Who was in control of money? What happened when the bills were paid? What did your parents say out loud about money to you? Because I can assure you, the beliefs you have about money today were formed long before you ever started earning it or spending it. Welcome to Success Tapping with Carol Look. I'm glad you're here. I'm your host. Please feel free to subscribe, like, or share. So we need to get to the bottom of your money story, and that's usually in your beliefs. So somewhere your family taught you that money was a problem, money was trouble, money was stressful. Whatever you learned from your family is what you likely carried through and are still operating with in your adult life. So what was the dominant thing that they said about money? I've had a number of clients who say, oh, money's the problem. That's their belief. And I say, where did you get that? And they said, oh, it was always a problem growing up. So we're going to tap on that and see if I can give you some relief around that belief. So when you say out loud, I'm convinced money is the problem, how true does that feel to you, or how upset do you feel in your system on the scale of 0 to 10? Because money isn't the problem. The communication was the problem. Many other factors were problems, but we grow up believing what our parents taught us, so we live their story. So when you say, oh, money's the problem, you're convinced of that, 0 to 10, how true does that feel, and where do you feel it in your body, and how high is that? All right, and we'll do some tapping on that to clear that so that then you can choose a new belief instead of this inherited belief. Here we go. Even though I'm convinced that money is the problem, I wonder if that's really true. Even though I believe in my bones that money is a problem and that money causes problems, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Eyebrow. I'm convinced that money is the problem. Side of the eye. I learned this at an early age. There was so much fighting around money. Nobody was happy about money. Chin point. I'm convinced that money is the problem. Collarbone. I just know in my bones that money's the problem. Under the arm. I'm pretty sure that money is the problem. Top of the head. They taught me that belief, and I can feel it. Good. Take a deep breath. And let's measure it again. When you say out loud, I'm convinced that money is the problem, how true does that feel now? Where do you feel it in your body? What sensations do you get? Right? How true does that feel? Now, it may have been true watching this as a child, watching your parents talk about it, fight about it, stress out about it, right? But it's not a fact, but it feels like a fact. Our beliefs feel compulsive. We have to live them out and they feel like facts. So let's do this again. Tap on this conviction that money is the problem rather than anything else that was going on, including the communication about money. Even though I'm living my parents' money story, and I'm convinced that money's the problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm convinced that money is the problem. That's what they taught me. I deeply and profoundly love and accept who I am and how I feel. Eyebrow point. I'm pretty sure money is the problem. Side of the eye. It feels true to me. Under the eye. It feels like money is the problem. Under the nose. They were always fighting about it. Shin point. There was always tension and stress about it. Collarbone. I'm convinced money was the problem. Under the arm. What if I'm just living their story? Top of the head. What if I could create a new money story? Good. Take a breath. Measure again. I'm convinced that money is the problem. 0 to 10, how does that feel to you? How true does that feel to you? Do you notice any different sensations in your body around holding tight to this belief? I understand that you learned it and you can unlearn it. So let's do a brief gratitude round just to change the energy, and then we'll go to your next yes. Side of the hand. Even though I'm still convinced that money was the problem, and I'm convinced now that money is the problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though a part of me is still convinced that money is the problem, I'm willing to look at it differently. Eyebrow. I'm grateful that this topic has surfaced. Side of the eye. I appreciate all that I've learned about money. Under the eye. I appreciate what I've learned about this belief. Under the nose. I'm grateful that I can live a new money story. Chin point. I'm grateful that I'm opening up to a new money story. Collarbone. Thank you, universe, for opening me up to a new money belief. Under the arm. I'm so happy and grateful now that I know money isn't the problem. Top of the head. I appreciate knowing now that money's not the problem. Good. Take a breath. Measure that again, 0 to 10. Does it still feel convincing to you that money is the problem or that money is trouble? See if you can get a number on that, and you can pause this and tap again on any parts of this belief. But I assure you that those beliefs were formed before you started using money yourself, and that belief operates in the background because you heard something, learned something, saw something, right? You were taught something about money being the problem. All right. So now for your next yes. If the belief is currently, oh, I'm convinced that money is the problem, that's your inherited belief. Replace that. Choose a new belief that you'd like to live with. This may take a minute or two. What would you like to live and believe instead? If you've been living their money story, what would you like the new story to be? Money is neutral. Money is just energy. I handle money with ease and grace. Those are just some examples. Come up with one so that you can use this as your next yes. Write down the inherited belief, choose a new one, swap it out, and then tap with that one. So let's do a brief tapping round on money is neutral energy. Okay, go right to the eyebrow. I now believe that money is neutral energy. Side of the eye. I appreciate knowing that money is neutral energy. Under the eye. I love knowing that money is just neutral energy. Under the nose. I appreciate knowing that money is neutral energy. Chin point. I feel so light and easy around the topic of money. Collarbone. I choose to live my own money story. Under the arm. And money is neutral energy to me now. Top of the head. I feel so free releasing the old beliefs around money. Good. Take a breath. Great. So pause this, tap again on any parts of this belief. But if you're living their story, you're not living your own. All right. Thanks for watching. Please go to carollook.com/success to learn more about this channel and all the other topics. And feel free to subscribe, like, or share. Many thanks.